Well, it's been a remarkable night in the building that you can see behind me, this counting hall in Huddersfield, where this morning it was announced that Kim Leadbeater, the Labour candidate, has held the constituency of Batley and Spen, despite a huge amount of speculation from pollsters and from the bookies that she was going to lose it to the Conservative Party. So that is good for her. It means that, in her words, the people of Batley have got a strong local candidate who can look out for their interests on local issues. But it's also very good news for Labour headquarters, where Sir Keir Starmer, the Labour leader, was facing calls for his resignation and rumours of leadership challenges from various people on the left and right of the party if they were to lose here in Batley and Spen. So a big sigh of relief from the Labour camp. From the Tory camp, probably some frustration. This was a place they thought they might be able to increase Boris Johnson's majority following a loss in Chesham and Amersham last month, and also to try and drive the knife into Labour and really prevent them from taking any further seats off them at the next election. So it's been tense here. The result was incredibly close. It came down to just 323 votes between Labour and the Tories. That makes Batley and Spen now the 10th closest marginal seat in the UK. And after two what we were told were bundle counts, where the votes were checked and checked again, and after an attempted recount by George Galloway, who was also running here, it's been decided Labour have taken the seat. Perhaps the man who's least impressed this morning is George Galloway, who came to this seat running on a ticket to try and get rid of Keir Starmer, telling voters in this constituency that Labour had let them down and that if he was to do very well, then he should stand down. Well, actually, as it happened, Mr. Galloway came third, and he stood outside the front of this hall this morning about an hour ago and told reporters that he was going to demand that the result be legally challenged. He says that he asked the returning officer inside the counting hall this morning for a full recount of the votes. His request was turned down, so he says he's going to set the lawyers on Kirklees Council, and in what was a pretty rambling speech to journalists outside this building, said that he's not going to take this lying down.
We will take whatever legal measures are necessary to have that result set aside.
But he also says he won't talk anymore to the mainstream media, so he wouldn't answer any of my questions or the questions put to him by any of my colleagues in the parliamentary lobby. So for Mr. Galloway, perhaps his last by-election run, but he's had many resurrections before.